Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's reading will be on the topic of what is their biggest personality flaw or what is their biggest secret. This reading is more intended for people who are in the beginning stages of a relationship. So someone who they're interested in and they would like to know, what their biggest personality flaw is before they jump all in and start going steady. This is not really a reading for people who are already in a relationship. For those of you who are already in a relationship, I will add a little information card at the top. It should pop up now for a reading that should be more appropriate for you, but that doesn't mean that you won't find anything in this reading. I've just put the intention in this reading that it's more for people who are in the beginning stages of dating or just crushing on someone, and they would just like to know what their biggest personality flaw is or their biggest secret, to see what might be a deal breaker or what they might need to deal with if they get into a relationship with them. So you have 5 piles this time. Spirit kind of told me to add an extra one at the last minute. Group number 1 is the Jade. Group number 2 is the Red Jasper. Group number 3 is the Bloodstone. Group number 4 is the Snowflake Obsidian. Group number 5 is the Rubinated Stone. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but there are pieces of ruby in it. So I will be using these 3 oracle decks, to channel your messages today. Timestamps will be in the description and pinned in the comment section. Also, please remember that this is a general reading and I am pulling on 4 groups of consciousness for this. 5 groups of consciousness for this reading. Hello, group number 1. So for those of you who chose the Jade, I can see that the majority of you guys are inquiring about a female counterpart. Of course, this is a general reading, so take the energies as they resonate, but I'm just letting you know what the majority energy is. So for simplicity purposes, I'm going to refer to your crush as a she. So I can see that she has difficulty maintaining steady employment. She has difficulty saving money. She has difficulty with money management. She kind of spends a bit too much or just has difficulty managing her money. Even if it does seem to you that she has a stable job, one option is that she may not have had it for a long time. Obviously, if this is a crush, you may not know how long she's been working there. Maybe you will. But even if she has had it for a decent while, she doesn't have a big savings account. She is more of a frivolous spender and is just not really good with money management. It looks like in her last relationship, she didn't work while she was in that last relationship. It looks like she relied more on her mate to provide for her. She may have been living with him and not paying rent, so she was saving money on rent, even though she may have had a job, but it's probably a part-time job. Or it probably was a part-time job if she had one while she was with her mates. But he was paying for a lot of things. And to be honest, with the things that I'm saying, it seems like she could be a diva. Okay, let me rephrase that. It would seem like she would be a diva. However, I am not picking up that energy at all, at all, at all. I'm picking up that she's a kind person. She's nice. She just doesn't have proper money management skills, or hasn't had time to really put much money aside. You know, everyone's situation is different. Maybe she was in school and all her money went to books and tuition and rent and stuff. Or maybe she never even went to school. This seems like someone who probably most likely didn't even go to school and has just been trying to survive since she left her parents' house. I'm not picking up. I mean, it seems like I know, it would seem like she would be a diva, because here I have damsel here. The queen when she's in her power, it's always a woman of authority and honor, but no, you know, next to the damsel, it could go wrong. And then obviously with femme fatale here, it could go south as well. But I'm really not picking that up from her. I'm just picking up that she's just been kind of used to people taking care of her, or has just been used to sort of floating by. You know, her goals in life are probably not to be stuck and tied down to a full-time 9-to-5 job or whatever, or doing a job that absolutely makes her miserable. She's probably one of those people who prefer to have freedom at the expense of not having a lot of money, or she just does not manage her money well when she receives it. She hasn't been taught properly money management. I mean, most of us, in all honesty, haven't been taught money management at school. And if our parents had poor money management, we probably subconsciously picked it up. And I mean, most parents didn't sit us down and speak to us on how to properly manage our money. If your parents did, all the more power to you. That's awesome. But you know, if our parents didn't really know about money management because they were living paycheck to paycheck, what are they really going to teach us? They probably didn't, you know, sit her down to teach her that, because they didn't have anything to teach her. And she might be pretty young too. She might be in her 20s. Even if she's not, I'm picking up that she might be in her early 30s as well. Yeah, so with the monk/nun card coming out next to the poet as well, I see that, you know, she's just more focused on her craft, or just things that give her more pleasure. She seems a little bit spiritual. She seems a little creative as well. So she probably likes reading her book. She probably likes going for walks, like sitting in the park. She likes, you know, meditating, or just sewing, knitting, or painting, drawing, just anything that just gives her pleasure. She just prefers that over slaving away in an office or in a factory, or in a clothing store or a cafe or restaurant or whatever job she can get. You know, she probably prefers to work part-time and just, you know, pay her food, pay her rent, buy a couple of clothes. That's one group of them. One group of them prefer to just work part-time, just pay the minimum, and just, you know, that's it. By the end of the month, they're waiting for the next check. She doesn't really have a savings. And the other group, you know, may earn more money because they work full-time, but they just have a problem with spending it, and they don't really save it. But she's not really coming off as a super diva. She's just coming off as not undisciplined with money. So yeah, that's pretty much her biggest secret. She, you know, if you say, oh, you know, let's go on a trip, you're probably going to have to pay for it. Not because she's a super diva, but because she just she can't afford it. Or, you know, so one problem that might crop up in the relationship if you guys start dating is that she might depend on you to pay for a lot of things, and she might get a little upset when you don't have enough time to spend with her, because she seems like someone who, in one of her love languages, one of her main love languages, is quality time. And if you are working full time, you won't have enough time, as much time as she needs to spend with her, and that might put a damper on the relationship. That's one issue that can be caused. You know, she could get, yeah, I see her, she could get just a little upset over you not being around as much, and as a result, she won't feel loved as much. I'm really picking up one of her main languages is quality time over gifts. So just buying her a gift, it's probably going to hold her over for a little bit, but not as much as you spending time with her. And if you don't have that kind of time because of your job, it might not work. Or no, I mean, like, I don't want to say that. That's just gonna be an issue, a little bit of an issue with you guys. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that reading. Let me know how it resonated, and I will see you in my next video. Hi, group number 2. So for those of you who chose the red jasper, I can see that your person, they're coming off as a female. Of course, this is a general reading, so take the energies as they resonate, but I may refer to them as a she pretty often during this reading. So this person, your crush, tends to jump around from relationship to relationship. They really have their sights set on a family and a marriage, and they're a little naive. I'm trying to think of the right word to describe them. A little too optimistic in a way. She's had a lot of relationships, but I don't see them being super long term. Like, I don't really see any of them having lasted longer than about 2 years. Because she's really just looking for the one. She doesn't really have much time to play around. But I do see her as being flexible to go with the flow at the very beginning to see where it leads. But she has like a cutoff period. So if she feels like it may not turn into a serious relationship, you know, by like, say, the 3-month mark, or I don't know, 6-month mark, she'll probably cut the relationship off if she doesn't see a future or see it progressing. But at the beginning, she's pretty flexible with just going with the flow and seeing where things lead. She has her sights set on that long-term goal, and she doesn't really want to be distracted by it, to the point where, like I said, she'll cut you off if she feels like you're dragging her along, which is actually kind of a good trait in a way. Yeah. But of course, every trait, has its downsides. I see one of her personality flaws as being a little too quick to commit in a relationship. She may move a little too fast for your liking. So everyone has a different pace. So if your pace is that, you're usually with someone casually for a year before you buckle down and make it a real official relationship, she's not the one for you. She's not going to wait that long for you to make up your mind. I see her as being, like I said, she's a little like childlike in a way. She'll throw, all her time and attention into the relationship. She could potentially come off as a little smothering to you. She may cook you lunch, cook you breakfast, cook you dinner, text you frequently, call you frequently, want to hang out almost every day. And you might find that a little smothering. But I see her being really eager to please. So if you tell her, hey, like, I need some days to myself. I need some days to with my friends. Like, let's hang out. Like, let's reduce the amount of time. Like, let's not hang out every day. I see her being like, okay, sure. Like, she's not gonna make a fight about it. I see her as being very perceptive. She's probably a water sign, actually. She's probably a Cancer or a Pisces. She could be a Scorpio, but she really Cancer, really heavy Cancer, heavy Pisces energy coming through in this reading. Honestly, I'd be surprised if she's anything else, but of course, this is a general reading, and she could just have a water heavy astrology chart if her sun sign is in something else. Also Virgo is coming through as well. Yeah, Virgo, Cancer, Pisces, that's coming through strongly here. She's really perceptive. She does most of her learning about you non-verbally. She's pretty intuitive, and she picks up on, intuitive cues, body language cues, tone of voice cues. So you can't really hide anything from this person at all. If you're the type of person who tries to deceive your significant other and say, I have a stomach ache, I can't go out with you, and in real life you just want to go have a beer with your friends, or you just want to stay home and play video games, or just do whatever, she's probably going to pick up on it. So I know this reading was supposed to be their biggest personality flaw. I guess, she could come off as a bit too smothering, a bit too mothery. She could remind you too much of her mother in a way. She tends to mother people too much. And she tends to jump into relationships and try to make it become a bit too serious too quickly. And that could be too much for your liking. So if you're a very casual type of guy or gal or whatever, she's not the one for you. I wouldn't even try to play with her, to be completely honest. You're not going to get very far, and she's probably going to dump you before you can dump her, in all honesty. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. So if you don't like being mothered, you don't like a girl like waiting on you, like, like hand and foot in a way, you don't like a girl who devotes pretty much all of her time and thought to you, then she could feel a little smothering. So that can be a personality flaw, potentially. Okay. And also there is still some guys who kind of feel like, oh, I don't want a girl who has had a lot of boyfriends before me. Also, if you're one of those, then she's also not the person for you, because I see that she's probably had a lot of boyfriends before you. But quite frankly, I don't know why that should still matter in this day and age. But I'm just telling you. Okay, so yeah, those are your messages. Let me know if it resonated, and I will see you in my next video. Hi, pile number 3. So for those of you who chose the Bloodstone, I'm picking up a very heavy male energy for your crush. The other 2 piles, I was picking up female energy for the crush. This pile, I'm picking up more male energy. That doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you if you're inquiring about a female, but this female is very much in the masculine energy. That's what it means. And also, most of you are probably inquiring about a male. So for simplicity purposes, I'm probably going to refer to this person very often as he. So I can see that this person is really into business and their career. They are very one-track minded. They're very logical. They're very in their lower chakras. They're very in their first, second, and third chakras for sure. I feel like their upper chakras from the heart to the crown are very underdeveloped. What does that mean? It means that they've blocked off their intuition. I know we have deep knowing here, and this card is usually about intuition, but I feel like this person's intuition is pretty blocked off. And even if they are kind of intuitive, what they're doing is that they're rebuttaling it with their logic so much that they're going around in like circles in their head. Where I think, for some of them, I feel like their intuition is actually trying to open up. And especially if they're female, because females, we have it more ingrained in us. I'm not saying males don't have it, but with females, to be so much in the logical mind is just not really natural, like super unbalanced. Naturally, we're not supposed to be that unbalanced in the logical mind. And I can see, especially if this is a female you're inquiring about, her intuition is always trying to pop up for different things, and she's always crushing it with her logic. This person is probably an engineer, literally, for some of you. If they're not an engineer, they're in some sort of high-paying, high education position of authority. They could be a business owner, a CEO, a manager. They went to school. They definitely have at least a bachelor's, most usually of science for most of you, but any kind of bachelor. And they're very, mathematical, very scientific. They don't really believe things without proof. They could be judges. They could be lawyers. Yeah, a lot of them are in law. A lot of them are in engineering and science and math. They could be doctors. A lot of them, which is actually a problem, because here, this might, if they're doctors, their intuition very well might be trying to pop up, in their profession saying, I feel like this is actually wrong with this person. And they're just like, no, I took the x-rays, I took the blood tests. It says everything is negative, says everything's fine. For example, if someone says, oh, I think I might have a thyroid disorder or something. The thing about thyroid and, anything blood sugar, normal is different for every body type and every person. But the medical industry has a standard of what normal actually is. So if they take your blood and urine sample or whatever they do, and it comes back within the industry standard normal range, they're just going to say, okay, no, you're fine, but you might not actually be fine. And their intuition is telling them, I kind of feel like this person's onto something. I feel like they're, and also with the thyroid, if they take a blood sample when your thyroid isn't acting up and going crazy, the amount of hormones in your body, is not going to show up off the charts. But if they literally, if you're having an episode where your thyroid's pumping too much hormones, and they draw your blood or take the urine sample at that time, that's when they're gonna find it. And similarly with people with what's it called, hypoglycemia, the same sort of thing. If you're not having an episode where your sugar just drops randomly and they take the samples, they're just going to be like, you're fine. So sorry, I went on a little tangent there, but I'm telling you the reason why I did that is because I channeled a lot of them, your crushes, they're actually in the medical field. So that's why I channeled all that. Some of that stuff, most of that stuff I actually know, but the point is, their intuition is probably trying to crop up in their work, and they're totally, shoving it down with logic. So this person is a little pessimistic. Usually with the magical child, these people are usually see the beauty in all things, but this person is a little, they disbelieve everything until proven otherwise. Everyone's guilty until proven innocent. Every theory is incorrect until proven correct with them. That's the way their mind works. With the nature child coming up, again, usually this could be a good thing, but of course the shadow aspects, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. I feel like this person has a disregard for the environment. They have, I don't want to say they don't have a regard for people, but especially if you're resonating with this person being a lawyer, they're probably a sleazy lawyer. I'm not going to lie. They're probably taking cases for people who should be in jail and getting them off from serving any kind of time. That's the kind of person that they are. Or if they're a doctor, they just, they did it because they were smart enough to get into medical school and they know it pays a lot of money. It's not because they really care about people. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're like, abusing people, but they just, and you know what, actually, as soon as I said that, some of them I might actually be, I'm not picking that up so much with the doctors, but some of you guys, I'm picking up some of them, they might be, if they work with elderly people, some of them are business owners and they own like private, what are they called? Senior homes. And they probably know of a lot of mistreatment that's happening in the homes that they own or that they manage, and they're turning a blind eye because they're one of those people who look at numbers, how many people are coming through, how much of this is and that's coming through. It could be any field. If they manage it or they own it, they're looking at the numbers, how many of this is coming through, how much money is coming through. Okay, so what? People are getting shat on here and there, so what? That's the kind of person that they are. So whatever business they manage or own, they look more at the numbers of, this person, I know right now we're in the whole Black Lives Matter thing. This person probably only posted a square on their Instagram just because they didn't want to lose money from their company. And they literally don't give a shit. Seriously. Yeah, alchemist, misuse of power and knowledge. This person's a know-it-all. Again, with the priest. This person acts holier than thou. They act holier than thou. They might even be a covert narcissist, to be honest. Like, this is the third group I'm reading, so of all the 3 groups so far, if there are any covert narcissists in any of the groups, I'm telling you the majority of them are in this group. Maybe a little bit in the first group, but barely. Like, so far they're all in this group, if they are in any group. Sorry. So, like, I mean, so what problems could possibly arrive if you guys date? What negative personality traits could cause a problem in your relationship? The fact that they put their work before you, for one, that could be a problem. The fact that you care about people and they're just like, well, this person's paying me. I don't care if they're a pedophile. Like, I'm going to get them off those charges. That's my job. Could cause a bit of a problem in your relationship. Okay, and this person being a know-it-all, I'm telling you, they're going to think they're smarter than you. And education-wise, it probably looks on paper that they are. But they're very tunnel-visioned that they end up usually not being smarter than you in a larger range of things. That diverts off of their field. You know what I mean? So you guys know what I mean. If you're dealing with this person, you know what I mean. Or if you have dealt with this kind of person, you know what I mean. Their training might only be in the medical field or might only be in law, yet they think they know freaking everything about anything. So you guys are going to get into a lot of arguments about little things, like something as simple as how much butter to pour over the homemade popcorn that you guys are making for the movie you're about to watch, the Netflix flick that you're about to watch. They'll come at you and tell you, you're putting too much butter on it. You're gonna make it soggy, and it's actually gonna defeat the purpose of the buttery flavor to put that much. Not to mention, you're increasing your sodium count. That may lead to diabetes or a early heart attack. Is your family prone to diabetes? And if bro, I can't stand this person. I'm gonna move on to the next the next group. I've had enough of this person. Guys, tell me if that resonated, but goodbye. I can't even take this anymore. What a douchebag. Oh my god. What even that smug face, I can't even take it. But even if you two are like, a logical person, you're just like, I too am a logical person. I'm telling you, they may seem like God's sent at the beginning of the relationship. When you guys first start dating, they may seem like God sent. They're super intelligent, very classy, very well put together, highly educated, earn a high salary. But I'm telling you, the more time you spend with them, the more they are going to drive you. That is going to be, dude, this is you. After like a couple of weeks or a couple of months with this person, this is you. I'm telling you, look at her face. She is over it. That is you. You're going to be over it. Okay, tell me if that resonated. I've had enough of this person. Bye. Hi, pal number 4. So for those of you who chose the Snowflake Obsidian, I can see that this person is really in their heart space and really in their head. They probably have an overactive heart and third eye chakra. They are big dreamers. They're not very grounded. Their root chakra is very underdeveloped. Their solar plexus is very underdeveloped. Even their sacral is underdeveloped as well. With the monk and nun coming through, this person could be a Libra. Strong Libra energy coming through. Yeah. Or any air sign, to be honest. This person could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra, but strong Libras coming through. They pretty much, they could also be a water sign as well. That's coming through. But very, very air. They kind of move wherever the wind blows. They are not very stable. In fact, I would be very surprised if they currently even have a job. And if they do have one, it's a part-time one, and it's an entry-level one. Or if it's not an entry-level one, it's a job out in nature for sure. Like, there are two kind of groups of people happening here. Because remember, this is a general reading. This person could either, like I said, they could probably work in I see some people, they're working in a restaurant, part-time. They're probably washing dishes. They might be waiting. They might bartend. And they may go to school, but probably not. And then the other group of people, these are the people who work up north, usually during the summer. They might be lifeguards in the summertime. They might be snowboard instructors in wintertime. They might be camp animators in the summertime. They might be coaches for kids, like for sports. But usually, if you're a coach, you got to have discipline. They might be a coach assistant or something. Um, but yeah, or like they might help assist with some sort of group activities for children, usually outdoors. This person's very outdoorsy. This person, if they had it their way, they would spend all of their time out in nature doing what they love. Um, so I see this person as, okay, it's weird because I have like companion coming out and I also have monk and nun coming out. Um, this person seems to be very talkative. Okay, okay, again, I'm picking up two energies again because this is a general reading. There's one group of them who are very quiet and very introverted. All of these people have very introverted like tendencies, even if they come off as extroverted while they're at work and while they're around people. They spend a lot of time in contemplation. This person spends a lot of time in solitude and contemplation, even though they may be very outgoing and very talkative when they're around people. They are very spiritual, this group. But like I said, they're ungrounded. So they do not have, like I said, their solar plexus is very underdeveloped. I would be very surprised if this person owns a house. They do not own any real estate. They do not have a big savings account unless they inherited some money. They did not work and save and put money aside. Um, this this person spends more time daydreaming about their goals than actually accomplishing them. They love helping people though. They probably volunteer. They probably like volunteering and or doing some kind of work that puts them with people. See, like I said, they're very outgoing, but at the same time they're very introverted. It's kind of weird. Well, not weird, but it's interesting. Um they're like both. They're really outgoing and really introverted at the same time. They're pretty intuitive. Yeah, so the issue that could crop up is that in your relationship, if you guys get together, is that you guys will probably not be on the same wavelength. Because if you're a bit more ambitious and you're a bit more tied down to your job, this person's just not really gonna. I mean, your lifestyles are not going to match. They're not going to match up. I mean, if you are in this type of energy as well, you two are kind of like. See, I'm also picking up skateboarder. I see a skateboarder, someone who likes to skateboard as well. Or play sports. This person might be an athlete. They all are very athletic, but this person might be an athlete by profession too, as well. Um, it depends on your personality whether or not you guys are going to match up, but because the thing is with this type of energy, they don't need another type of energy that's like them, especially in a romantic partner. In a friend, that's awesome. This person probably smokes a lot of weed as well in their spare time. I'm telling you, they get baked like super often. uh in a friend, to have the same type of airy energy as them, that's awesome. In a romantic partner, I'm telling you, they need someone a little bit more grounded. So the problems that can arise is, are that you guys are not compatible in the fact that This person would rather spend 2 weeks, you know, up north snowboarding, and you would rather spend 2 weeks working. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not reading you. I don't know who you are. But if that is the truth, then you guys are not compatible. Like, when you guys gonna spend time with each other? This person has a lot of energy and they might wear you down with all their energy. Think of a child with ADHD. This person was probably diagnosed with ADHD as a child. Someone with all that energy, they need to burn it. And to be honest, I'm picking up that this person is probably not that faithful in a relationship. And it's not because, like, I'm not making an excuse for people who are unfaithful. But there are kind of two different types of unfaithful people. There are the people who are unfaithful because they're just freaking douchebags and they have absolutely no regard for anyone else's needs or emotions but their own. And they can't, and then there are the other group of people who can't really control their impulses. And they have a very YOLO attitude. You only live once kind of attitude. So they don't want to be tied down. And they're also afraid of hurting people's feelings. I'm telling you, this person, it comes off as very Libra. They're afraid of hurting people's feelings. So, they may say, and they may really like you. So they may say, okay, yeah, we're dating. But in their mind, dating doesn't mean that they're super tied down. This person, you probably can't trust this person. Like I said, they're not the douchebag. Like the last group that I read for, that person was a freaking douchebag. This person's not a douchebag. They're just a child. And I don't care how old they are a child. They do not have impulse control. They have a very you only live once attitude. They're very much very dreamy. They value friendship and adventure above anything else. They probably like traveling a lot. So again, if you don't have that kind of time in your schedule to travel, even if it's just road trips, because I'm not picking up that this person has a lot of money unless, like I said, they inherited some money. So they probably can't take, long trips overseas with planes, but they could probably take road trips. And if you don't have that in your schedule, you guys are just not going to work. So those are the kind of problems that can arise. This person is not very grounded. They're not very responsible. Financially, they're not responsible. It depends on what your goals are in life. This person's goals are to be content, happy, free, to live, not be tied down. They don't want to be tied down to jobs, and they don't want to be tied down to people. So they don't want to be in a relationship, even if they kind of say, oh yeah, sure. I'm telling you, their idea of a relationship is just a really, really good friend who you're, banging in addition to whoever else you're banging. But that person is just more stable and you guys have more deeper conversations. Their idea of a relationship, like a girlfriend, is like a friends with benefits, but like a good friend with benefits, like a best friend with benefits. That's their idea of a girlfriend. So this person's not, this is the type of person that you're going to be dating for like freaking years and years and years, and they're never going to propose to you. So, I mean, do as you wish. I'm here to tell you what their negative personality traits are. I mean, this is not really I mean, negativity is relative in a way. There's good things about them, good things about having these kind of traits, but of course, in excess, there are bad things, and they're very ungrounded. They're not stable. They're not secure. They're not faithful. They're not committed. They're very airy. Okay, so those are your messages. Let me know if they resonated, and I will see you in my next video. Hi, pile number 5. So for those of you who chose the rubinated stone, I'm picking up more male energy for this group, that your crush is a male. They could be a female, but they could just be more in their masculine energy. Take the energies as they resonate, but for simplicity purposes, I will probably be referring to your crush more often as a he. So I can see that this person is kind of two-faced. Okay, they try to come off as very calm, very serene, very well put together. They come off really calm, really control, like they have a lot of control over their emotions, that they have a lot of control over their thoughts and their mind and their actions. They're manipulative. This person likes to use that's their strategy to manipulate people. This person is a heavy, I know I keep saying it, but they're a heavy manipulator. I mean, if there's anything to take away from this reading, this person is manipulative. They are probably a covert narcissist. They kind of remind me of the person from group number 3. So if by any chance you were, in the beginning of the video, you were kind of drawn to this group and group number 3, that's probably why. This person seems pretty similar to them. The difference, I suppose, between this person and the person from group number 3 is that this person is not as accomplished and not as intelligent, but they're still a know-it-all. And they're still deceptive to get their way. This person is also coming off as more of a player than the person from group number 3. So that's probably why I got this extra group, because this person is probably, of all 5 groups, is probably the biggest cheater of them all, closely followed by group number 4, and then followed by group number 3. This person is the biggest cheater of all 5 groups. And furthermore, I see them, should I even say that? Going to a lot of strip clubs and paying a lot of hookers, because they don't really have the time or the will to try to swindle as many women or people as it would take to satisfy their sexual needs. Because this person is a sex addict almost. So, whereas with group number 3 and even group number 4, this person, those people, they weren't, they could be satisfied by the amount of multiple people that they were able to attract in their daily lives. This person is not able to be satisfied with the amount of people they would be able to attract in their daily lives. So, and also because they have this kind of need to have power over people. With the man holding a coin and the king, it's coming off really strongly. And with the servant right above, they hold a lot of power if they could just pay someone to have sex with them. They don't have to text. They don't have to get, put on the front that they would have to put on with you. They don't have to put up that front to pretend to be interested in them. They could just go in and go out and then go back, to their daily lives. This person comes off as married. Guys, are you crushing over a guy who's married? And if you're saying no, it's probably because he's one of those guys who don't wear his wedding ring. And it never came up in conversation because he's not wearing a wedding ring, or he blatantly lied to you and said no, he's not. Of course, this is a general reading, so there are multiple people watching this, so that doesn't mean that for everyone watching this, your crush is married, but I'm telling you, for a big group of you guys, he's married and he's not wearing his wedding ring, and he's lying to you. And for the other group of people, he's just a perpetual bachelor. Like, he has no interest in ever settling down. And even for the group who where this person is married, they want to settle down on paper and, just to have that stable half of their life, but then they're still bachelors in the other half. This person's like a bachelor for life. Regardless of if they get married or not, they're a bachelor for life. This person's bachelor party was at a strip club, or they had the strippers come to them if they're, like I said, if they're married. Their favorite pastime is sex workers. That's their favorite pastime. I'm telling you, the amount of people that they would need to satisfy their sexual needs, they cannot pick up on their own. So, and like I said, they don't want to put as much energy in all of them to pretend to be interested in them. It's kind of exhausting. When you have two faces, it's exhausting. So with you, they may be putting up that front, like they're interested in you. I'm telling you, this person's coming off as a strong Gemini. That doesn't mean they have to be, but I'm telling you, for a lot of you guys, if this person isn't a sun Gemini, they are a rising Gemini. That's their ascendant sign. Or they have heavy Gemini in their chart. For real. This person, dear God. I thought group number 3 was bad. You know what? Group number 3 was more annoying. This person is annoying. They're a know-it-all as well. But group number 3 they were a bigger know-it-all. They would be best friends. Real talks. This person should hook up with the guy from group number 3. They would be the best buds. They would be best friends. Or they might end up hating each other. It could go either way with these kind of people. When they come across someone who's too much like them, they could see the negative traits that they hate in the other person and absolutely despise that person because subconsciously they remind them too much of themselves. So yeah, anyways, you can't trust a damn thing this person says. Truth be told, coming out next to deceit. Yeah, you can't trust a damn thing they say. If they say that they're doing one thing, they're doing something else. They just want to keep you in a subservient position. You are never going to be their girlfriend. You're never going to be their wife. And if you are, don't think that changes anything, except for just that they're spending a bit more extra time with you, and they have to be a bit more sly with their lies about their whereabouts. But this person's a bachelor for life. Regardless if they have a ring or not, they're a bachelor for life. You can trust them as far as you can throw them. And they seem pretty tall and in shape. You can't, and yeah, you're not throwing them very far. King, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. This person feels entitled to have as much fun as they want. They come off as someone in their 30s. They could be any age, because with this kind of personality, you never grow out of it. This person you never grow out of that. But they come off as very 30s energy, because guys in their 30s, you know, they're at the stage where they probably should start thinking about settling down, but if they're still in this energy, they could still be acting like a 20-year-old. And yeah, like I said, this is heavy male energy, but it could be a female. Sorry, I know it feels like, probably sounds like my energy dropped. It's because this person they're draining my energy. They're gonna drain your energy too. If they're draining my energy just from reading them, they're gonna drain your energy too. This person is the biggest narcissist. I'm telling you, group number 5 and group number 3 are the narcissists. They're so covert, both of them, that you're not gonna notice it right away. They're gonna have you thinking that you're freaking crazy. They're gonna, I'm telling you this, but you to catch this person in a lie, good luck. Good luck trying to catch them in a lie. This person is so good at lying that it's probably going to take you freaking 2 years or more of being with them. Maybe even more of being with them before you realize, maybe even 5 years it'll take you of being with them before you realize that they've been lying to you for all those years. You know, if they tell you they're at work, they're probably at work for only a portion of the time. They're not at work for the entire time. Just delete this person from your phone. They're probably a shadow attribute of the hero, escapism, false sense of heroism. They have this, they're going to come off, they prey on people who are weaker than them, mentally, financially, and socially weaker than them. So if this is your crush, it's because you're either one of those 3 or preferably all 3 of those 3. Sorry, but it's true. You're probably younger than them. This person's probably 40. You might be a little 20-year-old. Because the 40-year-old women are going to see their bullshit. And also because they're such a narcissist, they're probably like, I'm so hot still, I can get a 20-year-old. Why do I need to get a 40-year-old when I look this good? Look at his smoldering eyes. So because it's funny because I'm clairvoyant, so I see different things. With group number 3, they actually got the same card, and with them I saw a very smug look. With you guys, I see a very, what's that guy's name? Is it Jaspawn or something from Beauty and the Beast? Kind of like that. He's, you know, Gaspon, I think his name was. Yeah. I would just delete this. You're not gonna ever. It's gonna take, if you're ever gonna catch them in a lie for real, without them word salading you and making you feel like, and gaslighting you and making you feel like you're the one who's crazy, it's probably going to take like a couple of years before you finally wise up to their shit. So this reading was made with the intention of those of you who are in the beginning stages of dating someone. At this point, I would just block them. Don't even give them a chance to lie to you, because you're going to believe their lies. Like I said, you're intelligent wise more naive than they are, socially inferior in a way. Like, I don't want to be, I'm not saying that in a rude way, I just mean like you don't have as much of a support system. Probably you don't have as much family or friends, because this is the way they can sink their teeth into you. Financially as well, don't make as much money as them. And what else did I say? Financially, socially, intelligence. I'm not saying you're stupid, you're just naive. You're probably really young. This person cannot go after someone who is not like that, because it's not going to work. So these are the type of people that they need to go after. So that's it. I've had enough of this person. Similar to group number 3. If you were really drawn to this group and group number 3, there's a reason. They're brothers. These two are brothers. They should be BFFs. I've had enough of this person. So let me know if that resonated. Like, comment, subscribe, but that's it. I'm ending this. I've had enough of this person. Okay. Thank you.